Hey guys, so I'm pretty excited for this next tutorial that we are doing. I'm going to be working on doing this mold, which is like a little cup, like a honey pot cup, and then it has a lid. So we're going to be prepping it, getting things all situated for what we want to do with it. And this will probably be a 3 to 4 parter, just because we'll have the prep work today, and then we'll have the resin pour for the next episode, and then we might have to do a second pour, and then of course the unmolding and the cleanup of it. I want to do this one completely start to finish. So got our mold here with us. And then I've got some things that we are going to be filling it with, essentially. So I'm going to show you how we're going to do this and design this so that it can be done, because it's a lot of fun doing a cup, or not a cup, but like a mold like this. So move these things out of our way for a minute. And I am going to work in 3 origami cranes. It's just something fun that I do in my little pots that I make. I like to do those. It's just a fun little additive thing that I throw in. So definitely gonna throw those in. So I got them picked out. Pretty excited. All right, so first thing I'm gonna do is I am going to measure our circumference on the inside. So it's a little bit challenging, but the easiest way to do this is going to be to flip our mold inside out. And you're going to see why we want to measure this in a moment. Okay, looks funny. It looks like a mushroom. I love it. All right. I have this smaller measuring tape than what I use when I do sewing and other things, so I said, why not use this? So basically, I am going to take this and wrap it around so that I can see how big around this part is. All right, we're a 7 1/4 around, so we want to be a little bit bigger than that because we want to be able to slip what we're creating right into our mold when it's flipped the right way out, essentially. So we want to be able to slip it in there, and so we're going to make it just a little bit bigger, so probably 7 1/2 is what we want. I might even do 7 and like just 1 tick past the half so that I can make sure that we fully have enough, and so that I can connect it, because I have to have a little space to connect this. All right, let's see here. So I have some packing tape, and essentially this is what we want to do. As we want to give ourselves, like I said, right at about 7 1/2, maybe just a smidge beyond. So I'm gonna go right here. And it's not perfect because I know that I'm gonna have some overlap because this end is not perfect. I'm gonna go ahead and straighten this end out just a smidge. I don't want you to follow me. I want you to stay. So I'm going to just recheck. Yeah, I probably will need to about 1/2 inch or more roll that over. And that's fine. Okay, this is not wanting to stay. So sometimes you got to use a little extra encouragement there. Yeah. So I know it's a little hard to see the packing tape probably on video, but as we add to this, it's going to get a lot easier. Now, our packing tape, the way we're building our design is the bottom first, or the inside of our pot first, and the outside or the top will be our outside. So that's what we're going to see the finished product is on the outside. So we're basically building it, you know, the back layer first and then build it up. So this is the layer that we'd want to add like our greenery before we add beautiful flowers and things, because we want the greenery to kind of peek in the back. Now, little tricks we're going to be doing to get this all situated, and I don't even know. So I did a little cleanup in the space because, you know, I just can't not mess around with the space. But I now finally have a comfy chair to do my crafting in, and we are getting to where we're about as good as I can be organized, but I forgot that I might want my UV light. So let me plug this rib in so that I can be all honed in here. Because I'll show you as we're doing some layers what we might end up wanting to do, just to make sure that it sticks fully. Because we'll probably cover our entire sticky part for the most part. Now, I'm going to try to leave basically a finger length on either side empty, and that's where I'll make sure that then I bring it all together. So I'm going to start, and you can use tweezers, you can use your fingers, whatever it is that you want to help you, you can. Now this guy is a little bit long, so we're going to just trim him. And it could be a smidge long. It's fine if it hangs off a little bit, because this, when you think about this being in here, it's, well, this one might be, this one we want it pretty well even. And the reason for it is because this being inside here is going to be pretty well even. Sometimes you can leave a little extra just because of the shape of the mold. But this one we definitely want. Oh my goodness. Can I pick you up? So I'll probably have to trim just a little bit off just to make sure that we even that out. That's okay. We'll at least get it started. So like I said, you could use some tweezers if you wanted to help do placing, and we probably will on some things definitely do that. But for this part, I'm just basically using my fingers to try to get some of these in place. And there's no rhyme or reason. Don't let that stick. Don't let that stick. Okay. Whew. Okay. You know what we're going to do? We're going to get a little popsicle stick over here. Grab another one, put over here. That way, you know what? Just helps us keep that flat. So no real rhyme or reason, like I said. I'm just trying to get some greenery in the background on this. I just want some greenery to be in there and giving it some depth. And again, it doesn't ultimately matter because we're going to be filling in, and so you're just going to see little tips of these probably more than anything. Probably not going to be even a full piece that you're going to really see. Oh my goodness, I might need to get my tweezers. These are being silver. difficult. Let's see. I got sharp tweezers, not so sharp. Let's try these. Okay, that's where you're gonna go. That's just what's happening. And essentially, I'm just trying to get, like I said, just little bits. And they can overlap each other, that's fine. It's not a problem. Like I said, sometimes you just gotta let it go the way it's gonna go because that's just how it is. Okay, the most difficult part is keeping your tape flat. Alright, so I'm liking that. I don't know if I have, oh yeah, I have another green kind of thing that I want to put in here. Look at this leaf. That's pretty cool. So I think I'm going to do it kind of right here. It's just to help hold our pieces where we want them, or in a general spot of where we want them. It doesn't have to be perfect. This leaf is a little folded. I don't know if I can unfold it without it breaking, which is exactly what happened. Yeah. But nature's imperfect, y'all know. So we just roll with it. So this is very fine details that we're doing, but it's gonna look really good. Okay. I might end up adding a little more green in there. Actually, I am. I wanted to use a little bit of this leaf stuff, and I'll link from Amazon, like where I get these, like the pack that I got for this. There's all kinds of them that came in there. And then, because that came with like all of these that you see, jasmine buds, penny buds, silk tree flower, and we're gonna even throw a few figs in here because I just think they look really awesome. But it came with all sorts, so that's just a really fun one to have. So I'll link that. And then a lot of the flowers I get are varied from just packs that I've put together basically from Amazon. So I'll link those too. Okay, so that's about all the stems I'm gonna do for this one. All the greenery, I think that's plenty. I just wanted a little something. We're gonna also do some mica powder inside of our cup. So there won't be a lot of clear in this basically. It's gonna have a lot of color. But we also don't want to have so much going on that we lose sight of some of the pieces. So now we're running out of sticky spots, as you see. So that's something that I knew would start to occur. So we're going to have to use some UV resin, just little dollops, and that's why I wanted my UV light, just to hold these things in place when we get them where we want them. So let's do a few of these little figgies. They're just really fun. I mean, look at that. That's kind of a fun little thing, right? I don't want to do too many because they are pretty big. But I think I want this one more, but he's not disconnecting from this other one. I think I like that right there. Okay. All right. Now, I do want to add a few of these mica flakes. So this is a stone mica. It's a diamond in the rough. natural stone mica. It's from Counterculture DIY. It's just going to give us some earthy tone, stone tone, but also give us some little bits of sparkle in there and a little bit different texture happening. So I'm not going at it with any particular goal here, except just to fill in a few of these little empty spots. Try to get you on the shape though. Okay. There you go. Just to kind of mix these in. Like I said, nothing crazy, but just a little, you know, extra flair that we can add. It's always fun to get those in there. And again, you're not going to see every single one of these probably, but you know, in certain light you might definitely see them. And I think that makes it super fun. Okay, I think that's probably pretty good. Actually, I'm going to put one more right in here. Well, it was kind of two more, but they're connected. So, I like it. I like it. We aren't going to need much more because, and I always pull out so much stuff. I'm like, oh, I could use this. Oh, I could use this. And then I'm like, oh my gosh, I have a lot of stuff. Like, okay. We have filled this very full. I'm like, hey, maybe not. That's okay. All right, let's add some color. Oh, I like this. I'm going to try to flatten it just a smidge. And I might just have to go ahead and, yeah, I'm going to have to add some UV resin because that's not going to fold in here very well. So tonight I'm using this Let's Resin, UV resin. You'll see me use it quite frequently. It's one of my go-tos. And I'm just putting, you know, tiny little drop on here. What's on there? And then we'll cure that here in a minute with the UV light. I'll have to slip my little trying to see if I want that, if that's gonna sit in there. There's enough space for them. And I don't think there's enough space for the whole bud. So I just want some of these petals though, because the color is phenomenal. There's some petals in here. If I can get them to come on down. You are next up in the craft space. Let's get you on my piece that we are working on. And I'm fine with these little pieces, just kind of if they get sprinkled in and on, and then we get some of the bigger pieces too. I think that's really fun. I forgot this bottle is just about done, and I set it upright, so now it's coming. Just a little bit more. I might have to grab my other bottle because I don't have the patience. Oh, there we go. There we go. Oh, I'm loving it. Loving it. I like that piece there too. I think that looks good. Let's just add a little bit of these colors over here. Looks good. Just kind of get the little bits of color in there just to go along with our, I don't know if I want this guy. It's pretty, just not for this piece. not making the cut. Well, that just full on crumbled. I don't even know if I made it over there with that piece or what happened. Oh, I'm just like playing hop the petals across my craft space apparently. Yeah, birds. Oh, if you hop onto my piece, that's just fine. Let's go right there. Okay. Cool. Might be able to get it. Just a little couple pieces. Not anything fancy, but gives us just spots of color, which is what I was going for. Okay. Let's put a few jasmine buds in here. You're probably like, how in the world are you going to get cranes in here? Oh, don't you worry. We're going to do it. We will, we will. Oh, these are sweet. These are very sweet. I even like this little guy. He's not much of anything, but even though he doesn't have a flower, I still like him. He just has a unique little shape, so he's gonna go right there. Let's see if I can pop a few more of these on here. This is also a good way to use up some of your resin of a bottle that's coming to an end, because you're sitting here just holding it kind of sideways, so then it's easier to squeeze that extra resin out. Got one more here, right? Coming in a little awkward, but we got him in there. Okay. I think that I should try to cure that. And the fun part is we're going to need our little tray and move it to our tray. So let's move. One hard thing about working in a small area, I got to kind of work with it here. Let's stick you. Ah! And also, this is not quite big enough to hold this, so this is going to be something of interest here. Okay. So I need both sides of my UV light. So we've got the bottom and the top. The biggest thing is making sure your metal pieces are turned down so that they can magnetically connect. That way both top and bottom lights come on for us. I'm a little bit worried about this because it's not quite long enough, but I'm just gonna hold the tray in here. I don't need a full 2 minutes even. And now I don't even think my bottom lights are on. Are they? No. There they go. It's not gonna need a full 2 minutes, so I'll just kind of hold it and pull it, you know, slowly this way, just wanting to get enough of a cure on that bottom. And the reason why I need the bottom lights on is because that UV resin is on the underside of our pieces, and the UV light can't penetrate these pieces to get to that UV resin to cure it. So that is why we do that. And I just kind of move it back and forth just to make sure everybody gets pretty even. And like I said, it's not going to need 2 minutes. Because ultimately this is all going to be put into resin, or a pour resin into that mold and over top of these. So what we're doing is just needing them to stick to our tape for this part. And we're not super worried about the longevity of it, because it's going to be cured in resin, basically. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it. That's what I felt like. It's like, I feel like I'm giving y'all this whole long story, and may or may not want it. Huh, these are unique. Okay. Let's see. Let's see how we want to put some of these on here, because I think they're just fun and cute. And I just wanted a little more color and 3D-ness. And I think these give kind of that uniqueness of them. Yeah, that's fun. Definitely different, but it's working and it looks cute. I'm liking how it's coming along. Oh, come on. You were doing so good for me. Now you're being persnickety. And I don't like being persnickety. I want you to do what I want you to do. Got some big bubbles going on that. If I can get this one to lay. Oh, that's cute. That'd be cute. Oh, that's a big amount. I don't want to get it all over my fingers. So just trying to get it in place as quickly as I could. Okay. Yeah. Because I'm trying to kind of leave space for my cranes. So I feel like this is pretty sufficient for that. And if I need to, I'll fill in a little bit more, but ultimately, okay, yeah, let's do this one. So I'm just gonna put, again, some UV resin on one wing, basically, so that it goes down, and essentially that's my goal of how it will be. Sometimes their wings flap up, sometimes they don't. It just kind of varies. You never know what's gonna fully happen with them, and you just gotta, beauty of art and nature and everything, you never know how it's gonna fully land. This one's little head is not fully doing what I'd want him to do. There. So it's definitely full, but that's the look we were going for. It's getting her nice and full in here. And I'm going to put just a little bit on so that I know that these are going to stay down. So I'm just giving us a little bit of on top because I just don't know if there's enough underneath for it to cure where it needs to. So that's why I'm doing that. There's this little one, and I think he would go perfectly in that space. And just kind of doing a little bit of fill-in. Yeah, that's quite lovely. Now I didn't end up using any of my flat ones. I do have a lot of flat ones. Oops. Okay, well, that one just like popped into our place. I was holding that wrong. But I really didn't need them. It really feels full the way it is. And I really like the natural look that we have going and how it's coming together. So seems really good. All right, sorry, I had to read a message from my youngest. She's fighting some sort of viral. So she's in bed, but she texted me and she's like, bruh. Kids, I don't know if you guys have kids. Do they use bruh, bro, bruh? I'm like, yes. There we go. But her nose is stuffed up on one side, driving her crazy, which I understand. I hate that. It's one of those things. And she's like, I don't think I can go to school again. She was home from school today. I'm like, oh. It got her good. We didn't start allergy meds in time, I guess. So her little body just has a time when it's exposed to things. Anywho, by the time this comes out, she'll be back up and running around. But she had texted me and she knows I'm recording tutorial, but she just wanted to let me know. Okay. Just kind of going back and forth, letting that fully cure up. I think it's probably pretty cured. Oh yeah. Because this is all cured up. Okay. Perfect. Oh, I love how this is looking. I really do. I like it. Let's put these little berry things, these little flowers, silk tree flowers. I'm not even going to try to say the second word on here because, yeah. We're just going to call them silk tree flowers, right? Okay. Not even going to attempt it. Alright. So then, I'm going to move this to the side for a few minutes because what I want to do is show you how we are going to make this even more fun and beautiful. Not that it won't be anyway, but like just to give it a little extra oomph. Okay, so we're going to add some mica powders to it while it's flipped inside out. And the best way to do that is with one of these little brushes, and they are just like the makeup foam brushes, basically is what they are. And this is rosy mica, and we're dipping a little bit in, and I'm not going to cover the whole thing with this rosy. I'm going to just do a layer around the top, more of the top part here than anything, just to give some color. And I don't know if it's how it looks on camera, but basically just trying to go on the inside. I'm trying to not hit the outside, but I know that I've bumped it a little bit, so I might have to take one with just a little rubbing alcohol and rub that off. And that's fine. We can do that. But basically I'm just kind of rubbing this on the inside of the mold And that's going to give us a background behind our, oh, I just splattered mica all over. That's okay. It's going to give us a background that will peek through in certain parts of that tape. So it gives you another look, basically. All right. These can be washed with just a little bit of water, or if you want to keep them, you know, use a similar color, definitely you could do that. I'm going to do one with just some rubbing alcohol here and allow myself to clean up a little bit of this mess that I made. And then I'm probably going to have to do one that's dry so that I can fully add the next layer or the next color that I want to. Okay, that works. And yeah, it got very wet on top, and the silicone repels that rubbing alcohol. So just take another one to dry, and I've got a whole thing of them over here, so that's why I'm not like overly worried about, you know, one to another. This is called a duo red blue, so it's gonna change in the light kind of what color you're gonna get in the shimmery, and it's gonna kind of, it's sort of splattering and staticking around, and that's okay. I might not get all the colors that I picked out over here for this on here, but that's all right. We'll wing it, and if we need to do less, we'll do less. I might just take one color out. I might take this one green out and just go with the blue and the other green I have. And again, this doesn't have to be perfect, because again, it's art and nature scene, and so you're not going to be perfect always, essentially. So it's okay for your lines to not be perfect. It's okay to have ended up with some major splattering. Do that. Try to knock some of that out. This is my very wet one. I probably should just wait until I'm fully done. Might be wise. I'm going to take just a little bit of this off because I went a little bit far down. Okay, on to the next. Next. You could do this all one color. I've done them all as one color before. I just wanted to do something a smidge different. This is Duo Blue Green. So this is going to give us kind of a bluish green. So that was like a red blue that it's going to go with. So it's, some lights you're going to see that more blue. And this one you're going to see some blue and some green. And it's splattering up there just the way it's doing it, but that's okay. You could also use a paintbrush. That works really good for transferring the mica too. I just have found these little brushes. They're super cheap. I'll try to find them and link them like I do with things so that you guys can find what I'm using. And hey, if you find something better, don't hesitate to hit me up and let me know. And you might just see me switch over or try something. Or if you have a tip or trick that you like using, definitely don't hesitate to tell me. I am not at all an expert at this. This is just my enjoyment. If this is your first time joining me, I do this as my relaxation, my fun, my joy. This is in my spare time. Okay, this is Speakeasy. And the lids apparently don't stay very well, so when they shipped it, I got it masking tape around it, and now I'm twisted around my fingers. Okay. This is like little flakes. I'm gonna see how this does. Let's see. Let me take this off. It's funny, I ended up with blue and the blue-red there. Oh, maybe this is the wetter one. That's why that wasn't cleaning off as well. I was like, why is that not cleaning off as well? Okay, that's why. Once we add the rubbing alcohol, it actually works better. It's funny how that works, right? Tool funny. Okay. Much better. Alrighty, let's see if we can get this to... Oh yeah, it's stuck to here, so let's see. Static electricity, that's for sure. Okay, so I think I know what I want to do then. Because it's not, I want that in there, but it's not giving me the coverage I want. So we are going to first do this green. And then, and I'm not worried about crossover right now. Actually, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to do this and get as much as I can stuck to it. And then we will add that green over top of it because it seems to stick better that way. The static. I see it like flying in front of me. I'm seeing like all these particles that are flying in front of my glasses and stuff. I'm like, oh, okay. Okay. Now, I think by putting this green over top, it's helping seal those flakes in there. So your resin's gonna pick that all up. It's gonna pick the color up off of it, which is awesome when it goes in. So you'll get a really unique look by that, which is fun. And see, I mean, really with resin, the possibilities are just so endless. I'm like, I can't even tell you how endless they can be, because really and truly, you could just do so much with it. There's so many variations. No two pieces are going to ever be the same, even by the same artist. You know, it's just not going to happen. You can't make them be the same. Okay, I'm going to dip that in this rubbing alcohol that I have over here. And I'm not going to stress about the flakes too bad. It's like not going to be perfect, because if they're a little dispersed on here, that's fine. I'm just trying to get the majority so there's not like a big patch maybe of them. But again, I don't think it's going to matter significantly. And I do need to get that off because that's the mica. And right here is some pretty decent mica. Okay. So then we'll do coloring of our lid when we pour the resin. I might actually put one of the buds in here. I think that would be really, really pretty. We might end up doing that. Might be really pretty that way. I think I have a thought too. So yeah, that's probably what we'll do, is we'll end up coloring it more when we do that side. So I'm not really concerned about getting it situated. It's more this part of it. This is so pretty. Can I Actually, before I do this, can I do something? Let me lay you right here for a moment. I'm like, where is my resin tape? Not resin tape, packing tape. Let's see. Come on. Because of the way I cut it, I didn't leave myself a edge that I normally do. And I'm just wondering if I can kind of capture some of this and make something. I don't know. This will be a trial and error. But it just looks so pretty. So it just felt like I had to do this. I had to try to capture it on the... I don't know. It's not as pretty on the tape, is it? I mean, it's cool. I'm going to leave it like that on this roll. I've got plenty of other. And eventually, maybe I'll do something with that. Don't know. Okay. Sidetracked. That is definitely my neurodivergent brain. My ADHD comes out and goes, let me kidnap your brain for a moment because I have a creative idea. Did you know that that looks pretty cool? Okay, so I usually bring my tape together and flip my mold right side out and then put this in. On this one, I want to kind of assemble it while it's like this. While it's inside out. So, you see how we made our top. This would be our top. We want to make sure that we flip it upside down because our mold is inside out. And truthfully, if it was right side out, you would still... Oh, we lost a little guy. Let's see if we can find you a spot to stick. If we were to... Even if we had it right side up for a support, it would still be the top is on the bottom. So that's how we want to make sure that we do our top of our tape. Oh, that little guy's just not, he's not having it. And my tape decided to curl on itself. Now, you do not want to do overly tight around your center. The reason for that is because you want resin to be able to slip in between your tape and the inside here, and you want your resin to slip where it needs to go, essentially. Now, I do see that I built this a little bit lacking in right here. So we're going to have to do a little bit of filling in with it, which I think if we do some greenery will be just fine. And I'm going to trim this for sure. For sure. Just dropping pieces right and left. Right and left, right and left. Okay. Come on. Oh no, you need to stick to it. Why are you not sticking? It's because you're being upside down, but that's how you got to sit. Okay, I think that will be fine because that kind of fills it in right there. Okay, so let's trim these tops off so that we don't have them sticking out as they go flying. Okay, so now The fun becomes that we have to gently flip this right side out without full on breaking this, which is not working. So this is why I must do it the way that I normally do it. Okay. It was good in theory. In my mind, it was going to work out beautifully by doing that. In reality, it did not work out very well. So it's allowed me to stick this on a little bit better, sort of. That one that keeps coming off keeps being a little tricky. Okay. Get that petal out of there. So let's, goodness gracious, it is not being, oh, I think that's why. Okay, well, this needs to go back. Oh, y'all, okay. Whew. Oh, my goodness. Now, it's going to be fun because this one is not like my other one where I'm able, it's a little bit more space. I think that's why I was like, maybe I need to have it flipped out to do it, but then it's not working. Okay, let's rethink, rework. This is going to work. Some way, somehow, we are going to make this do what we want it to, but that's not going to work. I know it. I just know. So, here we go. Back out at least, and I'm getting mica all over, which is not what I wanted to do. So let's get some rubbing alcohol. I don't want to wipe off, of course, my center part, but I am trying to avoid it being all over this one, because this is where we want it to be able to see what we've put on our tape. So I'm just kind of making sure that I've gotten as much of it off as I can. Okay. Yeah. I think that's pretty good. Maybe just a smidge more. When in doubt, add a little more rubbing alcohol. Okay. Well, that makes me feel a smidge better. Alright, this is what we are going to do. But then my hands are covered in it. Alright, I might have to put gloves on, because I just got more of the mica after having my hands in it. Okay, grab a pair of gloves so that we're not making a mess of that, which is going to make this probably a smidge challenging. But we've got this, y'all. We've got this. Okay. What I want to do is like, can I do a partial like this? Okay, which is how I had it originally. Yep. Yep, yep. And then we, a little booger. That will be okay. We'll be able to slip that in once we get this situated. It will be okay. It's gonna be okay. Now, the trick is I don't really need, see, when I first did it, I pulled it all the way down and through. I'm worried that that's just not right where ours up. See, okay. Okay. To do a little cleanup on the inside there. Well, I think Alyssa threw a smidge. If I need to, I might just cut our tape. Just ironic. But I think that might work. So you guys are going to see me go through this struggle. And I might just be able to pull it apart, truthfully. Okay. So my goal is to get this in. So this one part is the correct way in. We're losing some buds, but it's okay. As long as we don't lose everything off, I think I can add and fill in once I get this more situated. Okay. So now, basically what I've done is I have stuck our tape kind of around, okay, inside the ball of this. And now what I need is for this part to go back in, essentially. So we're gonna try to pop it, and it of course grabbed my tape in a spot that I did not want it to and flipped it up underneath itself. So let's just pull this out. Okay, there we go. Yep. You can see that crane's laying, right? I don't know if the others are, and I fear that we have this big gap where our tape didn't connect. So I'm not using my sharp tweezers. These are my dull ones because I do not want to scratch my mold and make it unrepairable. But what I'm trying to do is essentially grab, this is like operation here. These tweezers don't have the best grip. But I'm trying to grab an end of the tape and bring it around. Okay, these tweezers are not doing it. Let's see, do I have ones that are not sharp, or other ones that are not sharp that are not gonna scratch my mold? I need itty bitty fingers is what I need. I need itty bitty tiny fingers, dang it. Let's see, surely I have something that would help us. Right? In all my tricks of the trade, there's gotta be something, right? Who is with me? We all have all these tricks of the trade, and okay. So this mini little toolkit, I believe it's a glasses kit actually. Not sure why I have it in my craft space, but it's got these itty bitty tweezers. Now I'm thinking that they might just do what I need them to do. Well, they they closed on themselves completely. And then now that I get it, these might not work. Like, I get it somewhat. I think I got it better. It's not a perfect. It's right here is an issue. And I can't tell. Yep. Now I can. The tape folded in on itself right there too. It's where my ends are that folded up and in on themselves. But we're gonna get it. It's gonna work. Okay. Now it is super dirty in this one corner. And this will dry out before we actually pour the resin, so I'm not worried about that. I'm going to drop that little guy in there. And then probably, ultimately, when I pour the resin, I'll drop some more of these in to hopefully make it to where you don't see this gap that's over here. But I want them to not fully sink. I want them to float a little bit because that guy just went all the way to the bottom. That crane looks good. I can't really see the other cranes and how they're sitting. So that will all be a surprise. That's just going to be how it is. There's no other way around it. We're just going to have to kind of go with it. So, episode 1 almost turned into a total disaster, but we have survived it. We have prepped our container and got most of the pieces we wanted in, and we've got them in there somewhat the way we wanted them to be. Not perfect, but you know what? It's better than nothing. So really, the next step is we will pour some resin. We'll mix some resin, and then we'll pour some resin, and we will be able to get this poured. And like I said, we may have to do 2 pours, just depending. I'm not positive, because depending on how I do the lid, I might want to add a little color to it, and I might need a thin layer on it. And sometimes we don't get all the way full on our mold the first try, so I might have to do it kind of in layers. But we'll do that, and then yeah, I can't wait to get it poured and unmolded per usual. I'm impatient on that part. I'm like, oh, we did all that work. Can we now see it? Is it done, y'all? No, it's not done. Like, nope. Very far from it. But all in all, I'm happy with how it is coming along. Do I wish things were a little bit better? Yeah. That's on par with me, right? So, as the artist, I'm always like, that could have gone a little bit better. But this one's not like ones I've done before where I had enough opening for it to slide in, and I didn't think that all the way through. But I really want to do this little honey pot, so we're just going to keep going with it. So I hope you stay tuned Don't forget to hit the subscribe button to make sure you don't miss the next episodes in this series. Hope everybody's doing well. Sorry that we didn't have more time to really just talk and check in, but we'll get some of that when we mix up some resin. And I'll see you guys again soon. Bye.